Hello, hello, hello. It's time for another episode of 2BIKEMIKE's Guitar Stories. Well, in the last episode, I think I misled you a little bit, thinking that this one was going to be about 3 tellies that I built. Well, turns out that this one I actually got before I built the tellies, and it's in reality guitar number 4 in the total number of guitars in series. So we're going to do this one first. We're going to readjust the numbers because this acoustic is the last acoustic that I got, and there aren't any more. So then the tellies will become in the series 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, 5, 6, 7. So, and then from then on it'll all be electrics, all electrics. So this is acoustic electric. This is a Takamine 12 string. It is an EG 523 SC 12. It also came in black at the time, but I got this one after seeing a video from the Byrds, Mr. Tambourine Man, and a couple of others, where what's his name there plays a 12 string in that band. And I thought, you know, I need one of those too. So luckily I was still working at the time, and I didn't want to pay retail store price for this thing. The other 6 string Takamine was like 800 bucks. I didn't want to go anywhere near that for another one, but I thought, well, let me take a look. So I went on Kijiji here in Canada and looked through a bunch of things, and I found a listing for this one. Was a music teacher had it just north side of Niagara Falls. So I called him up and I said, I want to come take a look at it. And I left work on a Friday afternoon at around 4 o'clock in Toronto and drove straight down to Niagara Falls to this fellow's house, and his basement was just plumb full of musical equipment. In the one room where he was teaching students, literally the floor had racks where there was like 3 and 4 guitars all around it, and there were many of those there. There was a wall of amplifiers. There was a couple of pianos on the side that I was in, and a slew of other stuff. And so he says, yeah, I'm giving up, I'm retiring, I'm not doing any more teaching. And he says, I've taken some of the guitars out of this room into another room where he kept, you know, some of the higher end Gibsons and Fenders and stuff that he wanted to keep for himself. And the stuff in the room I was in was all for sale. Well, I was only interested in a 12 string at the time. So I took a look at it. So he hands it to me, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, wow. I said, this thing looks like brand new. He says, yeah, it's about, well, what did he tell me about? A year and a half, 2 years old at the time. And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, wow, you know. And I turned it over, and on the back there was a tiny little scuff about there where I thought, yeah, it looks like a scuff. Maybe it hit a belt or something. But everything else, the finish was like fantastic on it, and I'm going, wow. And he was asking $350 for this thing. So I'm thinking, oh, this is a steal. So I played it a little bit, and I was running up here and I was getting some fret buzz. I said, yeah, I'll get a little fret buzz up here. And he says, oh? He says, yeah. I said, yeah. And he goes, he says, I never play up there. He says, I'm the open chord kind of guy. I'm a Gordon Lightfoot aficionado. He's a loves all the Gordon Lightfoot stuff, which is pretty much all down here. So he says, I've never played up there. And the action was actually quite high up there at the time. So I thought, oh, I didn't really know a whole lot about it, but I knew that the action was quite high because I could feel how hard that was to play. So, you know, I gave him the 350 bucks. I ran like a bandit out to my van, put this in the back, hit the highway, and never looked back. Yep, made out like a bandit on this one. So this has a spruce top, jumbo size body, as you can tell. It's fairly light. The neck and the tuners are mostly all the weight on this guitar. Sides, flamed and back, maple. It has a built-in standard Takamine TK40 tuner with it has a tuner in it, and it has an equalizer built into it. There's a notch filter and a couple of other controls there. The back of the neck is really nice, and identifiable scarf area right there. Made in Korea is still on the back of it. Takamine is a Korean company, and all of the tuners are Takamine branded. They are really good tuners. So I took this thing home, and I found out that there were, you know, some high frets along here. And eventually I fixed all that stuff up, and I originally tried to bang them down. Worked on a couple, but I eventually had to file some stuff. And this became my number 4 guitar. So I thought, yeah, I better get a case for it. So I had to buy the jumbo case as well. The jumbo case cost me nearly $200 from my local guitar store. So yeah, it comes with a rosewood fretboard. They are the small frets on the Takamines. Rosewood bridge. It's got the split saddles here, and there's a piezo pickup underneath each section of this. I've got the rubber dam in there because the last time I used this was for an instrumental video I did on Queen's song Love of My Life. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Love of My Life. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to pin the thumbnail for that so you can watch it if you want to. I also have a playthrough of Losing My Religion, where I played with the song on there. And I think, what did I do lately? I did Losing My Religion, didn't I? I can't remember. There's so many things going on, I don't have time to remember a lot of stuff. Alright, so this, I'm not taking the dam out for this one. This is, you know, the acoustics with I'll try to get a little closer for you. The acoustics with the dam in. I mean, it's a big jumbo body, so you know it resonates out. I've got my amp set up for it. It's going to make a clunk. Not too bad. So the amp is, you know, the regular, this is acoustic on acoustic patch that I have. There's no gain. So this is just basic without any effects, no reverb, no delay or anything. So for those of you that don't know, 12-string guitar has octave strings on the E, A, D, and G. So they have the standard tuning on the bottom one, octave up on the top one. That's what makes it sound so nice when you play both of them at the same time. You get both octaves. The B and the high E strings are tuned exactly the same. Now I put a set of extra light 12 strings on this so that, one, it's easier to play, doesn't put as much tension on the neck. A lot of people using the heavier strings end up detuning the guitar and putting a capo on the first or second fret to get it back into standard tuning below that. I didn't like that idea. So I found that there are other gauges of strings, so I put the extra light on that I can, and I think these are 10 to 48s or something like that, maybe 10 to 46s. And you can buy just the octave set of strings. They're called the Nashville set. So you can buy just the upper octave set as a set of own by itself, 6 strings, without buying the whole thing. So if you have standard, 6-string guitar sets, instead of buying a 12-string set, you could buy just the octaves if you have a 12-string guitar. So you put the 2 sets together and you've got a set of 12 strings. I found that it comes out a little bit cheaper for me that way here. So I really liked this guitar. I thought I what did I know back in 2010, 2011? This was 2012. Just the year before I retired, and I thought, well, okay, I'm set. I've got a Les Paul copy, I've got a Fender, I've got a Takamine 6-string, and now I've got a Takamine 12-string. What more do I need? I am set, man. So I, put it in the case and waited, and this has been in the case a long time. These strings were put on in 2021. That's how long they've been on there. Brand spanking new. And the only thing I've played on it since then, I think, was Love of My Life. Yeah. Doesn't see the light of day very often, which is why, of course, it stays in perfect condition. So I'm very happy with this guitar. It turned out really good. I had to do some, work over here. Again, with the action being so high, there were shims underneath these saddles, which I took out. The nice thing about this 12 string is that, the ball ends go in from the bottom of the bridge. I like that more than the pegs. Oh, and there's the plug. It's absolutely beautiful body. So as far as construction goes, the Koreans do really good work, and it was well taken care of. Oh, and by the way, when I told you about what I thought that abrasion was back here, it actually wasn't. When I got it home and I cleaned it, it came right off. There wasn't a mark here at all. It was just like a couple of drops of sweat that were on there. So ended up with not a mark on the back of this thing. Absolutely not a mark anywhere, not a ding. So far, I haven't, done any bad to it. Touch that kind of wood. Oh, there's wood right there. The headstock is, got the nice Takamine logo on it. The G series kind of matching the pearloid tortoise down there. So I'm very, very nicely happy with this thing. And it sounds great. You can do just about anything with this that you want. Let me just turn on the reverb and just the standard delays that I use for everything. Pretty cool. Let me put the compressor on. Yep. So this is guitar number 4. It's one of the loves of my life. And I didn't even have to be a Queen guy to say that. People have said that playing a 12 string, you know, is really hard, but if you put extra light strings on it, you do the work, you get the neck straightened out, you, get the saddles adjusted so that the action is good here. I mean, look at that action. I mean, that is as good as my electric guitars, right? If you can get it that good on an acoustic, yeah, there's extra strings here that you're touching, but you're playing them mostly like a 6 string. You just got a couple of extra ones to cover. And after an hour playing this thing, you become accustomed to where your fingers are supposed to go. Yeah, the neck is a little bit chunkier, it's wider, but you have to expect that, you know, because of the nature of the beast. It's a 12 string, and you need space to be able to put them on. It's got a really nice bone nut in there. I think it's bone. If it's not, a tusk of some kind, but I think it's probably bone. These saddles are bone. So that's the story of my 12 string. I'm going to keep it around just because. I don't know what I'll ever end up doing with it next, but if I ever need it, it's here. It was a great purchase. It was a great deal, and basically I got a new guitar secondhand for way less than half the price of what they were going for in the music stores. So we're going to stop it there. Thanks for checking in on this one. I appreciate all your support, and catch you in the next one.